What's up, guys? Good Fortune just hit theaters. This is Aziz Ansari's directorial debut. He also wrote it, and it is starring Seth Rogen, Keanu Reeves, and Aziz Ansari. Now, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of Aziz Ansari, all the specials that he's done in the past. He was in Parks and Rec. I enjoyed that show when it was out. I've always just thought he was just whatever. I think he's good in some roles. He has small parts in a lot of comedies like Did Him to the Greek. I think This Is the End, his role in that when he plays himself, as does everybody else in that movie, but he was pretty fucking funny in that. But I can say I definitely enjoyed him in this film. I also really think that this script is pretty damn good. It's sharp, it's funny, it's emotional, it's real. It's also very clever, but I will say undoubtedly the best part of this movie is Keanu Reeves. He plays Gabriel, the angel whose main job is to stop people from texting and driving. He saves them from getting into car crashes, potentially that are going to be fatal. And one of the people that he saves from texting and driving is Arj, played by Aziz Ansari, our main character. And so he starts watching his life here and there. He starts, keeping an eye on him throughout, I believe it's probably a couple days, just his day-to-day life. And all Gabriel wants to do is save a lost soul. He has tiny wings, as they say, so he's kind of low on the angel totem pole, but he feels like he can do more than just save people from texting and driving. So he starts following Arj, seeing Arj's life. Arj lives out of his car. He doesn't really have a job. He says that he's an editor for documentaries, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of that coming his way right now. It seems to be pretty scarce. So he works for this app. It's called Task Sergeant, I believe is what it is. It's just him filling in all these random jobs that need to be filled. He'll wait in line at a bakery or whatever it is for however long so this person doesn't have to wait in line. He'll pick up shifts here and there at random department stores or warehouses, whatever needs to be done. But he is broke. He's extremely sad, lost. He has nowhere to go in life and he doesn't know what to do. But one day he gets a call on the Task Sergeant app that brings him to the house of Jeff, played by Seth Rogen. This extremely wealthy, basically tech bro. He's just invested a bunch of money into different companies and they all take off. Very successful. And Jeff is really living the life. I mean, this dude has an absolutely beautiful home in the Hollywood Hills overlooking downtown LA. He's got a nice sauna. He's got the cold plunge. He's got the whole thing going on. He gets guacamole and chips and a margarita on this little floaty while he's chilling in the pool, just pushed to him. I mean, this guy is living the life. So Arj does what Jeff needs. He needs his garage cleaned out. It's extremely messy. He organizes it perfectly. And just shooting his shot, how desperate he is in life, he asks to be Jeff's assistant. They kind of connect in a little bit of way over burrata and toast. And he said he likes his vibe. So boom. He does him a trial period 1 week to be his assistant. If it goes well, it'll be permanent. But he fucks up. He uses the company credit card that Jeff gave him for the expenses on this super nice date that he took Elena on, played by Keke Palmer, his love interest. He takes her to this super nice restaurant that was actually recommended by Jeff. So he puts it down. It's like $400, I think, $400. He gets fired. And now his life seems even worse than it was before. He pretty much had the perfect job, blew it, and this is where Gabriel comes back. He's been watching him the whole time, and this is when he has Arj and Jeff switch lives in order to prove to Arj that your life is worth living and all that money, all that materialism isn't what it cracks out to be. But if you've seen the trailer, you know that this completely backfired on Gabriel, as he was trying to show Arj that this money wouldn't solve all his problems, but it seemed to have solved all of his problems. And so this is obviously a very Freaky Friday type situation, also mixed with It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, I really enjoyed watching this movie. I really enjoyed this film, seeing the actors, Keanu Reeves, Seth Rogen, Aziz Ansari. They are great in it. Keanu Reeves is obviously the best part, like I said, because he fails as an angel, loses his wings eventually, and he has to be a human until he's able to convince Arj to want to switch lives back with Jeff. This is where we, without a doubt, get some of the funniest parts, some of the best scenes in this movie when Gabriel is learning to be a human. He doesn't know how to chew food. He doesn't know what burgers taste like. He loves it. He starts eating chicken nuggets, or nuggies as he calls them. a milkshake. I mean, he's doing all this for the first time and he loves it. In order to make ends meet, him and Jeff have to get jobs. They start door dashing together, but then Gabriel wants his own job, so he decides to become a dishwasher, or I don't know if that was the only job available, but he starts washing dishes at this Korean barbecue place, I believe is what it is. But he also too becomes sad and depressed. He starts chain smoking cigarettes on his break. He starts drinking alcohol on the side of the street, just extremely sad. And that's where the whole moral, the whole point of this film comes in, to where if you're sad in your life, if you think it's not going your way, you have to take control. You can make your life whatever you want, or you can just sit there and make excuses. But if you're not doing what you love, but at the same time, there are people who aren't as fortunate, but you have to at least try to fight for your life. And this is why I think Elena Kiki Palmer's character is so important, because she is trying to start this labor union at it's like a Home Depot type place that she works at, which is where her and Arj first met. But she wants better pay, she wants benefits, she wants all these different things to happen to this company, to where the people up top treat their workers better. And she is fighting for that life, even though when she starts talking to Arj again, after he's already, switched with Jeff, when he's rich, fancy, they don't really relate. And he kind of comes off as pretentious and douchey in a way, so their relationship doesn't work out. It won't work out. And that's where the humility really comes in this film, and realizing what it means to be a human being, and that we aren't really in control of the cards that we're dealt, or just the life that we're given most of the time, but you can still do something about it. You can try to be happy. You can do whatever you can to make a better life for yourself. And that's what Arj eventually has to realize. But they do mix in the humor with that as well. The humor with the humility, with all the emotion, all the rawness that this script is really trying to say and trying to put out there. It's very smart in my opinion. And with the humor, obviously, like I said, that comes from Keanu Reeves mainly, but Aziz Ansari as well, and Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen's pretty much just doing his Seth thing. But with Keanu Reeves, you don't see any of John Wick in there. You don't see any of his past characters, and just the role that he's been mostly associated with as of late. But what we really get is more of a laid-back, nonchalant, sarcastic, almost clueless character, much like when he played Ted in the Bill and Ted movies. Like being a human and working all those dishwashing shifts, late night, working your ass off, and he has cigarettes, is pretty much all he has, is what he says. He's out on a break talking to Jeff, and Jeff's like, "Now you're smoking?" And he's just like, "Stop it, leave me alone, this is all I have." And that's honestly pretty relatable for a lot of people. Working hard all night for little to no money, barely being able to pay off your bills with how high rent is, how expensive things cost nowadays, being forgotten about. I mean, these are all very real and relatable things. And just the way the script and the story handles, or more so balances, between the humor and the emotion and the honesty, I really, really liked this film. You will chuckle a lot. There's a lot of funny parts in this film, a lot of funny moments. It's not necessarily laugh out loud, gut-busting humor, but there are a lot of frequent laughs. My theater was laughing, along with me and my dad, quite often. It's not dark humor, crude humor, none of that. There's not a lot of set jokes or any of that type of humor. It's just all relatable to the human experience, and the way they deliver the lines with the nonchalant, sarcastic kind of tone. It's hilarious, and I definitely recommend going to watch this movie. It's not really getting that much promotion. It's a pretty low budget movie. It does say that this movie has an estimated budget of $30 million, but I would assume most of that goes to Seth Rogen, Keanu Reeves, and Aziz Ansari. And as Keanu Reeves is learning what it's like to be a human, starting to understand all of that, Jeff is going through a similar experience in having switched with Arj. He's having to learn what it's like to be an everyday working class American, and he is not a fan of it. He cracks under pressure pretty much immediately after a few days. He starts door dashing, and he cannot take it at all. He cannot take another second of this. He wonders how people aren't miserable and sad and just give up all the time. And it is cool to see Jeff go through all that, and at the end, when he's supposed to forget his memory after they switch back, he kind of has something. It seems like he remembers just a little bit what it feels like to be someone like Arj in that position, that working class American. But Jeff eventually does change. He does change his view on people like ours, the lives that they live. And there's a cool scene at the end, one of the last scenes, where he's standing up to his company saying that we need to pay these drivers more, these DoorDashers more, benefits, the whole 9 yards. And that was a really cool scene. One ranch, 1 star. Just in general too, by the end of this movie, you feel like the characters really have changed. You feel like they've really gone through this arc, which will change them forever. And they really come to this realization of what Gabriel was trying to do in the first place. And it was really, really satisfying, and it pays off. The whole movie pays off completely, I think. Although I do wish they kind of all stayed friends at one point, because Arj lets Jeff and Gabriel stay with him in the mansion for a while. And they just really all had a really good dynamic as being these buddies together. It was really, really a fun time. So overall, I really enjoyed this film. I'm going to give this movie a strong 8 out of 10. I definitely recommend going to see it. You'll laugh. You'll relate to a lot of this film. It's very relatable. And even though it is Freaky Friday meets It's a Wonderful Life, I do think that the story is pretty damn good. Definitely worth watching on the big screen. Go out and see this, support this movie. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching. My name is Zach. Like, subscribe, comment. Later.